You know what's been totally taking over my feeds lately? These incredibly watchable short videos.
Oh yeah, like what kind?
Just little snippets of stories or like a really interesting facts. And it turns out a massive chunk of them start life right there on Reddit.
Ah, okay. I know exactly what you mean. The ones with the robot voice sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into how you can take those Reddit posts that absolutely explode, you know, thousands of upvotes, tons of comments,
Right.
and basically transform them into short, easy to consume videos for platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
What's fascinating to consider, I think, is that you're not starting from scratch here. You're tapping into content that has already struck a chord, like with a huge audience on Reddit.
Exactly.
These stories and discussions have essentially been audience tested for you. So instead of the pressure of constant original content creation or needing to be on camera,
Which is a lot of pressure.
totally,
Mm.
you're leveraging this vast, ever-updating library of, well, engaging material.
Yeah. Exactly. Think about it. Reddit is just this gold mine of real human experiences, isn't it?
It really is.
They've got real life dramas unfolding, hilarious screw ups that, we can all relate to, questions that make you think,
Uh-huh.
even those weirdly satisfying revenge stories.
Yeah, all pro-revenge, stuff like that.
Right. These are the things that just naturally pull you in. And it makes perfect sense that if a Reddit post really hits hard in text form,
Uh-huh.
it's got a great chance of doing well as a short video, too.
If we kind of connect this to the bigger picture for you, the listener, it's about understanding where compelling content comes from and how adaptable it can be
Yeah.
across different formats, different audiences.
Yeah.
Reddit is this incredible, constantly refreshed source of, well, human interaction and storytelling.
So the core process looks pretty straightforward, right? On the surface, anyway.
Seems that way.
You find a popular Reddit post, maybe something from AskReddit that sparked tons of interesting answers, or a really dramatic AmItheAsshole situation.
Oh, yeah. AITA is endless.
Isn't it just you grab that text, add a voice reading it, maybe throw in some visuals? Could be anything, right? Like video game clips, stock photos.
Or just the text itself scrolling.
Yeah, exactly. And then, boom, you post it on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. And what's really intriguing is the potential for some, well, return on that effort.
Yeah, and this raises a fundamental point about how accessible this can be for you. It's a method that doesn't demand a lot of fancy equipment or, like you said, any on-screen presence if you don't want it.
Right.
The barrier to entry is, well, quite low, which is a big part of why it's become so popular, I think.
Definitely.
And yes, there are definitely reports out there, and our research backs this up, of people, even like teenagers.
Teenagers, really?
Yeah, making significant income, sometimes thousands of dollars each month, simply by creating and sharing these kinds of videos.
Wow. It's almost like you become a digital narrator, but the script is already written for you by the Reddit community.
That's a good way to put it.
So, for this deep dive, that's exactly what we're going to dig into. Our mission is to really understand this content creation method from the ground up.
Okay.
We'll look at how you find those winning posts, the different ways you can bring them to video, where they get shared, and of course, the ins and outs of how this could become a way for you to earn.
And the legal stuff, right? We got to cover that.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, we absolutely have to cover the legal side of things, the key considerations for you to keep in mind to navigate this responsibly.
Okay, so the first step you'll want to take.
Yeah.
It's finding the right content on Reddit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just about picking any old post. There's definitely a knack to it.
Right. Our sources really emphasize the importance of zeroing in on those popular subreddits. The communities known for really engaging stories or those Q&A threads that just pull you in.
Exactly. Think about it. Where do you usually find yourself scrolling for way too long on Reddit? Those are probably good places to start.
Ah, good point.
Subreddits like AskReddit are gold, because you often get this wide range of interesting responses, sometimes genuinely surprising information, all from one question.
Yeah, AskReddit is classic.
Then you've got AmItheAsshole, which, as you said, thrives on those intense personal conflicts and moral dilemmas that get everyone debating.
Oh, AIS is a constant source of drama. And let's not forget our ProRevenge for those satisfying tales of, justice served.
Yeah, people love those.
Or ATIU for the hilarious and often very relatable mistakes people make.
TEA is great, too.
And if you're after more emotional stories, relationships and relationship advice are just packed with real-life situations. I could get lost in those for hours. Seriously.
Definitely. It's important to point out, though, that our sources also mention Are No Sleep, the subreddit for user-written horror fiction.
Oh, okay. Horror stories.
Right. Now, while these stories can be incredibly captivating, it's crucial for you to remember that they are original creative works, meaning using them without permission could carry higher legal risks. The authors might be more protective of their intellectual property compared to, say, an anonymous comment on AskReddit.
Good point to keep in mind. So, okay, once you've identified your target subreddit, how do you actually pick the post? It's not like everything there is guaranteed to go viral.
No, definitely not. The key here is to look for clear signals of high engagement. A great starting point for you is sorting the subreddit by top posts of the week or month.
Okay, sorting by top. Makes sense.
You can also use Reddit's Rising tab to spot posts that are currently gaining a lot of traction, like right now.
Oh, interesting. Rising.
The main things you're looking for are, 1, eye-catching titles that spark curiosity, and 2, combined with a high number of upvotes and, crucially, a lot of comments.
Comments are key then.
Yeah, very key. For example, if a TIFU post has quickly racked up, say, 20,000 upvotes and hundreds or thousands of comments, that's a strong indicator that the story is resonating.
That makes total sense for you. Those numbers are like instant feedback from a built-in audience. It's almost like the Reddit community has already done the initial filtering for you.
Precisely. That's exactly it. And for those who want to stay right on top of emerging trends, our sources mention tools and even bots like TrackReddit or Reddit Metrics.
Bots, okay.
Yeah, these can send you alerts when posts in specific subreddits start to go viral. It allows you to jump on that wave of interest quickly.
Right, so you can catch it early.
Right.
Yeah.
The faster you can get a trending story into video form, the better your chances of catching that viral momentum yourself.
Okay, so you found a captivating Reddit thread, high engagement, good title. Now comes the transformation, turning that text into an engaging video for your audience. Let's talk about the voiceover you'll be using.
Right. The voiceover is a really critical element for you. You have a couple main paths you can take here.
Okay.
One is recording your own voice, which definitely adds a personal touch, right?
Yeah.
It can help you build a connection with your viewers. However, not everyone is comfortable with the sound of their own voice, or, you might prefer to maintain some anonymity.
Which brings us to the very popular option you see everywhere, text-to-speech, or TTS. I've heard so many of these videos with that distinct, often kind of AI-sounding voice.
Yes, TTS software has become incredibly common for this. These tools can automatically take the written Reddit text and generate an audio voiceover. Many creators rely on AI voice generators for, well, clear and consistent narration.
So you just paste the text in?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Our sources specifically highlight ElevenLabs as a tool known for producing very natural-sounding AI speech. You can just paste the Reddit text into ElevenLabs, choose a voice style, and it reads it aloud for you.
That sounds pretty straightforward for you. And there are other options too, right? Like
All right.
free ones maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Like TTSMP3.com, which is free, and even Google's built-in TTS. And I've even seen people using TikTok's own built-in TTS for shorter bits.
Ah, the TikTok voice.
That's the one. The great thing about TTS for you is that you don't need any recording equipment or a perfectly quiet space. The software handles the speaking part.
Which is a huge plus for many people.
Definitely. And the quality has improved so much in recent years. Some more advanced tools like Descript and Argyle AI even offer voice cloning or different voice styles.
Voice cloning, wow.
Yeah, Descript's overdub feature, for instance, can learn to mimic your own voice. This opens up some interesting possibilities for creating a unique and recognizable voice for your channel, if that's what you want.
That's next level for personalization, but regardless of whether you use your own voice or AI, the way it's delivered matters for your viewers, right? You don't want a monotone robot or someone mumbling.
Absolutely. Clarity and pacing are key for you to keep your audience engaged. Viewers need to be able to easily follow the story.
Makes sense.
Most video editors will allow you to adjust the playback speed of the audio, which is useful. It's also important for you to be strategic about the length. For short-form video platforms, you might need to trim down very long Reddit threads.
Yeah, some of them go on forever.
Right, so trim them to just the most captivating parts, or even break them down into multiple shorter videos, like a part 1, part 2 situation.
Okay, so you've got the audio sorted. Now, what about the visuals you'll use? Because just a voice reading text over, a black screen isn't going to hold most people's attention for long.
You're absolutely right. The visual component is crucial for you to keep viewers engaged. One of the most common elements you'll see is text on screen, essentially, subtitles or captions of the story as it's being read.
Oh yeah, the captions are everywhere.
Our sources emphasize that subtitles are almost always included, especially on TikTok, where so many people watch with the sound off.
Sure.
Tools like CapCut can actually automatically generate captions from your voiceover, which saves a ton of time.
And I've noticed that a lot of these videos highlight the text as it's being read. It's almost like karaoke for Reddit stories.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
This not only helps with understanding, but also keeps the viewer's focus locked on the screen for you. Beyond text, background footage or images are pretty much essential. A really popular approach you'll see is using unrelated but visually stimulating gameplay, think Minecraft, or maybe Grand Theft Auto clips running in the background.
It's so interesting that the gameplay often has absolutely nothing to do with the story itself. It's purely for that visual engagement for you. Right?
Precisely. It just keeps the eyes busy without taking away from the story being told.
Huh, okay.
Another common tactic for you is using stock videos or images that do relate to the story, at least thematically. Nature scenes for a heartwarming story, maybe news footage for something related to current events.
Or creepy stuff for horror stories.
Exactly. Or even AI-generated or creepy illustrations for horror narrations from places like No Sleep, perhaps. The goal for you is simply to have something dynamic on screen. Gameplay tends to be particularly effective at holding attention compared to, say, just static backgrounds.
And I've seen some more creative approaches you could take, too, like animated avatars or characters that look like they're actually speaking the story.
Yes, this is definitely a more elaborate option for you. Tools like Argyle or Synthesia allow you to create digital avatars that lip-sync to your audio.
So it looks like someone is telling the story.
Right. It gives your video a unique presentation, almost like having a virtual storyteller. It's not essential for success, but it's certainly a way for you to stand out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like imagine a robot avatar reading tech-related Reddit posts that could be quite memorable for your audience,
And sometimes you even see the Reddit post itself on screen for you, right?
Yeah.
Like a screenshot or maybe a recreated text box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Showing the original Reddit post, including the author's username, the title, maybe even the upvote and comment counts, adds this layer of authenticity.
Ah, proves it's real.
Yeah, and immediate recognition for viewers who are familiar with Reddit. It reinforces for them where the story came from.
So it sounds like the visuals you use can range from super simple to quite creative, but the consistent element is that you need something to keep the viewer engaged beyond just the audio.
Absolutely.
And subtitles or on-screen text seem to be almost a must-have for you.
Totally agree. A very common and effective formula for you is that split-screen layout. Gameplay or stock footage on one side, maybe the top half, and the scrolling text or Reddit post image on the other half. It kind of caters to both visual and textual engagement simultaneously.
Okay, so you've got your voiceover and your visuals planned out. Now you need to actually put it all together for your viewers. What kind of tools and software are we talking about for the editing part? Does it have to be super complex?
Fortunately for you, no, not at all. You definitely don't need professional-grade software to get started. CapCut is a fantastic free option.
Oh, I've heard of CapCut. It's everywhere on TikTok.
Exactly. It's available on both mobile and desktop. It's incredibly popular for editing TikTok videos specifically, and it has all the basic features you'll need, like adding text overlays, automatically generating those captions we talked about.
Nice.
For a manual workflow, you'd basically import your background video, import your voiceover audio file, and then add the Reddit text as captions, just adjusting the timing so it lines up with the audio. Pretty simple.
I've heard CapCut is really user-friendly, which is great for someone just starting out like you might be. What about more advanced options, if you get really into it?
Sure. For those of you who maybe want more control or are looking to create longer-form content down the line, perhaps Adobe Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro are the industry-standard professional tools.
The big guns.
Yeah, the big guns. They offer a much wider range of features, but they do come with a steeper learning curve and, a cost.
Right.
For simple Reddit story shorts, they might honestly be more than you need unless you already have experience with them. Kind of overkill, maybe?
And you mentioned Descript earlier as well. That sounded interesting.
Yes, Descript is quite unique. It edits video by editing the text transcript of your audio.
Wait, how does that work?
It generates a transcript, and if you delete a word in the transcript, it deletes that corresponding audio and video segment. It's really intuitive for audio editing. Plus, it has those AI voiceover capabilities we mentioned.
Ah, okay.
Which can be really useful for you if you need to make quick narration changes, or maybe add commentary later in a consistent voice without re-recording everything.
That sounds really efficient, actually, especially if you need to tweak the narration after you've already recorded it or generated it.
Exactly. And there are also a number of other mobile editing apps like InShot, KineMaster, and VN Video Editor. that are quite capable of handling the basic video assembly for you. Combining your voiceover with images and text. Lots of options.
So walk me through it. What does a typical editing process look like for you, start to finish?
Okay, sure. It usually starts with you importing your background video or image as the main layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they add your voiceover audio track underneath that. The next key step is adding the text captions. You can either manually type out the story or use an auto caption feature if your editor has one.
Like CapCut does.
Exactly. Then it's all about you adjusting the timing. This part can be a bit fiddly to make sure the captions sync perfectly with the audio as it plays.
Right, so the highlighting keeps up with the voice.
Precisely. After that, you might then add optional elements like background music. Just be careful with copyright there, obviously.
Always.
Maybe some subtle sound effects or a short intro or outro graphic if you want. Finally, and this is important, you need to make sure your video is exported in the right format, that vertical 9.16 aspect ratio that's ideal for phone screens.
Got it. Vertical is key. Now, this all sounds like it could take a fair bit of time, especially if you're aiming to put out, like, multiple videos a day or something. Are there ways for you to speed things up or even, like, automate some of this?
Absolutely, yeah. As this method has become more popular, so have automation options for you. It was bound to happen, right?
Makes sense.
One category is what you might call Reddit to video generators. These are typically online tools where you can literally just paste in the URL of a Reddit post.
No way.
Yeah, and they will automatically generate a video for you. Vub is one example that our sources mentioned. These tools often use preset templates and default AI voices to quickly crank out videos.
That sounds incredibly efficient for you, like almost too easy. What's the catch? What's the trade-off?
Well, the main benefit for you is obviously speed and the potential for a higher volume of output. You could potentially create a large number of videos with a minimal manual effort. However, the downside is that your videos might end up looking very similar to others using the same tool, which can limit your ability to stand out. They can look a bit generic.
Yeah, I can see that. Cookie cutter videos.
Exactly. And there's also just less flexibility for customization for you. You're kind of stuck with the template.
That makes sense. What about more advanced automation for you? Like for the really techie people?
Well, some more technically inclined creators actually build their own automated systems. They might use the Reddit API, that's the interface that lets programs talk to Reddit to automatically find trending posts.
Sure.
Then they use text-to-speech APIs for the voiceover. And finally, combine everything with video templates using programming tools or scripting.
Wow.
This definitely requires coding knowledge, but it can lead to fully automated channels that post new videos daily without any manual intervention from you at all.
Wow, that's a whole other level of efficiency, like set it and forget it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the advancements in AI for you, specifically. We've already talked about AI voiceovers and avatars. Tools like Argyle AI, as we mentioned, can generate custom digital characters to present your stories.
Right, the lip-syncing avatar.
Yeah, which is a more sophisticated way to automate the visual aspect for you. AI can also be used to summarize longer Reddit posts automatically to help fit them into shorter video formats for you.
Okay, so AI is playing a bigger role here too. So for someone just starting out, is it better to like learn the ropes manually first or just jump straight into automation? What's the advice?
Our sources strongly suggest for you to start with the manual method for at least a few videos.
Get your hands dirty first.
Exactly. This helps you actually understand the entire process, from finding the content to editing and publishing. You learn what works, what looks good.
Makes sense.
Once you have a good grasp of the workflow, you can then explore automation tools if you decide you want to scale up your output significantly. It's also really important for you to remember that purely automated videos can sometimes come across as, well, low effort or spammy.
Yeah, you can sometimes tell.
Right. Adding some personal touches or unique editing, even if you automate parts of the process, can really help your content stand out and connect better with viewers.
Okay, makes sense. So you've created this engaging video, maybe manually, maybe partly automated. Now, where do you release it into the wild for people to actually see it? TikTok and YouTube Shorts seem to be the main destinations for you, right?
That's right. Those short-form video platforms are pretty much ideal for the kind of bite-sized content we're discussing for you. When it comes to publishing, there are a few key things to keep in mind for both platforms.
All right, let's break it down. Formatting and length first. I know they both love those vertical videos for phone screens.
Yes, absolutely. Both TikTok and YouTube Shorts are designed for vertical. That's the 9.16 aspect ratio video consumption on smartphones. So making sure your videos in that format is crucial for you, It just won't look right otherwise.
Got it. 9.16. What about length?
TikTok now allows for longer videos, technically up to 15 minutes, I think. But for Reddit story content, shorter videos, typically under maybe 1 to 3 minutes, tend to perform best for you. Keep it punchy.
Okay. And shorts?
YouTube Shorts, on the other hand, has a strict 60-second limit for you. That's the hard cap. Instagram Reels also falls into this category, usually around a 90-second limit, though sometimes they test longer.
So if you can keep it around that 1-minute mark, you're generally good for both shorts and a pretty digestible TikTok length for your viewers.
That's a good rule of thumb, yeah.
What if the Reddit story you find is just longer than a minute? What do you do then?
You've got a couple options for your viewers. For TikTok, you could potentially post the full, longer story, but just be mindful that you might lose viewer attention if it's too drawn out. People swipe fast.
Yeah, attention spans are short.
Very short. The other very common approach for you, which you see all the time, is to split longer stories into parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, whatever.
Ah, the Part 2. Comment bait.
Exactly. It can actually increase engagement as viewers might follow you specifically to see the next part. However, it's really important for you to clearly label the parts.
Right.
And post them relatively close together so people don't lose the thread or get frustrated. And always mention in the video or caption that there are subsequent parts, usually pointing to your profile.
Good tips. And video quality, does it need to be like 4K?
No, not really. Just make sure your video quality is decent, at least 720p, preferably 1080p. And you're exporting in a common format like MP4 for your audience. Standard stuff, really.
Okay, video length and format sorted for you. What about the text elements when you're actually uploading, the titles, hashtags, descriptions? Does that differ much?
Yeah, they differ slightly between the platforms for you. For TikTok captions, the advice is usually keep them relatively short. A quick one-liner or even just the original Reddit title can work well for you.
Okay.
The key on TikTok is really to include relevant hashtags. Think hashtag Reddit stories, hashtag AskReddit, hashtag AITA, hashtag Storytime, and of course the big one, hashtag FV.
Right, hashtag feed. For you, Paige.
Yeah. A few specific hashtags, maybe 3 to 5, are generally sufficient for you. TikTok's algorithm, the system that decides who sees what, is quite good at understanding content these days, so you don't need to, spam dozens of hashtags for your videos to be seen.
Okay, 3 to 5 good ones. And for YouTube Shorts for you, titles.
For YouTube Shorts, you definitely need a title. Make it descriptive and eye-catching for people who might be browsing. Including the Reddit thread title is often a good strategy for you. Something like, AskReddit teachers share their weirdest classroom stories.
Okay, more descriptive there.
Yeah. While titles are less prominent in the Shorts feed itself, like when you're just swiping, they're important for when people are browsing your channel, or if your short happens to appear in YouTube search results. You can also optionally add hashtag shorts to your title or description, though YouTube says it doesn't really impact discovery anymore.
What about the longer descriptions and tags on YouTube for you? Are those as important for shorts as they are for regular longer videos?
Generally, descriptions and tags are less crucial for shorts discovery compared to longer YouTube videos for you. The algorithm focuses more on watch time and engagement for shorts.
Okay.
However, the description is a really great place for you to give credit to the original Reddit poster and the specific subreddit like story from Reddit user you awesome Redditor on Rayida.
Ah, the crediting thing again. Important.
Yeah, it's just good practice ethically and for transparency. On TikTok, you could maybe do this with a small on-screen text credit or mention it in the comments, but generally avoid putting full Reddit URLs in TikTok captions, as the platform might flag it as trying to drive traffic elsewhere.
That's a good tip for you about crediting. Now, how often should you be posting? And is there some kind of magic time to hit that upload button for the best results? Everyone wants to know the magic time.
Ah, yeah, the magic time. Well, consistency is definitely key for you. For TikTok, many experts suggest posting frequently, especially when you're starting out, maybe even 1 to 3 times a day.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. But the logic is the more videos you put out, the more opportunities you have for one to gain traction. And since Reddit provides this seemingly endless supply of content that's relatively quick to produce,
Right.
some creators do post daily or even multiple times a day for you. However, the big caveat is don't sacrifice quality just to hit a number. Aim for a regular schedule for your uploads. Maybe 1 good video a day at a specific time works for you.
And YouTube Shorts, same frequency.
YouTube Shorts also benefit from regular uploads from you, but you might not need to post quite as frequently as the high end of TikTok suggests. Even a few high-quality shorts per week can gain momentum for you on YouTube.
Okay. And the best time to post for you, that magic hour?
Well, it really can depend on your target audience's time zone for you. Evenings are often peak times for TikTok engagement, generally speaking, when people are relaxing and scrolling after work or school.
Makes sense.
The best advice is usually to experiment. Post at different times, and then use the analytics provided by both platforms to see when your viewers are most active. That's the real magic time for you.
Use the data.
Exactly. That being said, TikTok's algorithm especially is pretty good at showing engaging content, even hours or days after posting. So the quality and engagement of your video is often more important than the exact minute you post for you.
Okay, quality over perfect timing. And what about cross-promotion for you? Should you be putting the same video on both platforms and maybe Instagram Reels too?
Absolutely. Cross-posting your videos on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels is a really smart way for you to maximize your reach with minimal extra effort. You already made the video, right?
Oh, why not?
Just be careful about TikTok watermarks. If you download a TikTok video after posting it, it'll have that TikTok logo watermark.
Right.
And YouTube's algorithm, and probably Instagram's too, tend to deprioritize videos with obvious watermarks from competing platforms.
Ah, okay. So how do you avoid that?
Either upload the original clean video file separately to each platform before you post it anywhere, or use one of those third-party tools to remove the watermark after downloading from TikTok.
Yeah.
Uploading the original is usually safer. Some creators also make slight edits for each version, maybe a different caption or slightly different background music, just to better fit the norms or trends of each specific platform for you.
Okay.
And maybe most importantly, engage with your audience. Respond to comments. Then this signals to the algorithm that your content is sparking conversation and helps build a community around your channel for you.
Right. Engagement is huge. Okay. We've covered finding the content, creating the videos, getting them out there for you. Now for the part everyone's probably most curious about, making some actual money from this. Let's talk monetization basics for you.
Yeah, the money question. It's important for you to understand up front that the method itself, just repurposing Reddit stories, doesn't directly generate income. You need to leverage the monetization programs offered by the platforms, like TikTok and YouTube.
Okay. So how does that work on TikTok for you? I've heard about the Creator Fund. Is that still a main thing?
Yes, TikTok has the Creator Fund, and they're always rolling out newer programs too. But the basic idea is they pay creators based on their video views and engagement. However, you need to apply and meet certain eligibility criteria first.
Like what?
Typically, it includes having at least 10,000 followers, getting 100,000 video views in the last 30 days, and being 18 or older. The requirements can change, so always check the latest.
Okay, 10K followers, 100 T views. That's significant.
It is. It takes work to get there. Once you're accepted, TikTok will pay you based on your content's performance. Now, the exact payout rate varies quite a bit, but it's generally understood to be in the range of maybe $0.02 to $0.04 per 1,000 views from the Creator Fund.
2 to 4 cents per 1,000 views. That sounds really low.
It's quite low, yeah. So while the payout per video might seem tiny, it can add up for you if you have videos that go seriously viral and accumulate millions and millions of views. But you need volume.
That sounds like you need a lot of views for you to make any significant money from the Creator Fund alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not usually a path to riches just from the fund itself. TikTok has also introduced the creativity program Beta, which has slightly different criteria, often favoring longer videos, like over a minute.
Ah.
And potentially offering different, maybe slightly better payout structures for you. But again, you need eligibility.
Are there other ways to make money on TikTok with these videos?
Yeah, beyond these funds, TikTok also offers other monetization features for you, like receiving gifts or tips from viewers during live streams. Direct profile tipping is available for some creators. And of course, the big one for established accounts is brand sponsorships once you've built a substantial engaged following.
Right, sponsorships.
Essentially, TikTok can be a good starting point for you to build an audience, maybe get some initial earnings, which can then open doors to other monetization methods down the road.
Okay. What about YouTube for you? How does monetization work there, especially with shorts? Is it better?
YouTube's primary monetization method for you is through the YouTube Partner Program, or YPP, and earning AdSense revenue. Basically, you earn money from ads that run on, or in the case of shorts, between your videos.
Okay. And the requirements.
Traditionally, for long-form videos, you needed 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the past 12 months to join the YPP. Big hurdles.
Yeah, the 4,000 hours always sounded daunting.
It is. However, YouTube has now expanded monetization specifically to include Shorts creators as well for you. As of now, the criteria to monetize on YouTube are either the traditional 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, or 1,000 subscribers and 3 million valid Shorts views in the past 90 days.
Okay, 3 million Shorts views in 90 days. That's also a pretty high bar for you to reach, especially the subscriber count alongside it.
It is, definitely. And it usually means you need to build up a channel with consistent content that people want to subscribe to for your audience. This is why many Reddit story creators initially focus on TikTok, which arguably has a lower barrier to entry for getting some earnings started, and they might see YouTube as more of a longer-term strategy for you.
Okay. How does the actual money work for Shorts ads?
So YouTube Shorts now share ad revenue. Ads are shown between Shorts in the viewing feed, and creators receive a portion of the total ad revenue generated in the feed, allocated based on their share of total Shorts views.
So it's like a pool of money.
Kind of, yeah. While the payout per 1,000 views on Shorts, the RPM isn't generally very high either, offering just a few cents to maybe $1, depending on factors like audience location.
Still lowish, then.
Yeah, still quite low compared to long form, but YouTube generally has a higher earning potential in the long run for you overall, especially if you eventually branch out into longer videos on the same channel. The ad rates tend to be better.
So even if you start with Shorts, building an audience on YouTube can pay off more down the line for you, potentially.
Precisely. And beyond ad revenue, successful YouTube channels can also earn through things like super chats during live streams, channel memberships where fans pay monthly, selling merchandise via the merge shelf, and securing sponsorships for you, similar to TikTok, but often more lucrative on YouTube.
Right, those more advanced options.
Exactly. They become possibilities as your channel grows. It's also worth noting for you that you can start building an audience on YouTube with Shorts even before you meet the monetization requirements.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Once you do qualify for YPP, you can then turn on monetization for all your eligible past videos, potentially making previously uploaded Shorts profitable for you retroactively.
Nice. So past work isn't wasted.
Not necessarily, no. Just be really sure to keep YouTube's content policies in mind, particularly the reuse content rules we'll talk more about, to ensure your channel actually gets approved for monetization when you apply.
Okay, so building that audience is clearly key to earning on both platforms for you. What are some actionable tips to maybe grow faster and ultimately, hopefully, earn more?
Yeah, growing faster. One crucial tip for you is to try and find your niche and style within the huge world of Reddit stories. Instead of just posting a random assortment of whatever's popular, consider focusing on a specific type of story, like only relationship dramas, or only TIFU posts, or even developing a recognizable presentation style.
Like the robot avatar guy, maybe?
Exactly. Developing a consistent theme and presentation can attract a dedicated audience for you, people who know what they're getting and like it. Having a unique angle, whether it's a distinctive voice, that avatar presenter, or maybe adding your own brief commentary or reaction, can really help you stand out from the crowd.
That makes sense for you. People like consistency and knowing what to expect from a channel. What else can you do?
Hooking viewers in the first, 2 seconds is absolutely vital for you on these platforms, maybe even the first second.
2 seconds, that's fast.
It is. With so much content flying by, you need to grab their attention immediately to prevent them from just swiping past. Start with an interesting question or a really intriguing statement right on screen, or begin the voiceover with the most compelling line from the story.
Get right to the hook.
Yeah. This improves your watch time, which is a super key metric for the algorithms on both TikTok and YouTube for you. They want to see people sticking around.
And we've already touched on this, but it really bears repeating for you. Consistency and frequency of posting are crucial, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Exactly. Each video you post is basically another lottery ticket for virality for you.
Ah, good way to put it.
The more consistently you post, again without sacrificing quality, the higher your odds are of one taking off and bringing viewers back to your other content. Pay attention to what types of posts or which subreddits perform well for you, and maybe double down on those formats.
Learn from your successes.
Right. Also, engage with your audience. We mentioned it, but it's worth stressing. Respond to comments, ask questions in your captions sometimes, listen to feedback. This not only makes your viewers feel valued, but also signals to the algorithm that your content is engaging for you.
Builds community, too.
Totally. And of course, always stay within the community guidelines of both Reddit and the video platforms. That means things like bleeping out excessive profanity, avoiding hate speech, or overly graphic content, stuff that could get your video removed or your channel flagged or even demonetized for you.
Right. Play by the rules.
And cross-promotion. Mentioning your YouTube channel on TikTok and vice versa can significantly boost your overall reach for you. Get people following you in multiple places.
Smart.
Finally, just manage your expectations. Growth takes time for you. It's unlikely you'll go viral overnight, though it happens. Keep learning from your video performance. See what works, what doesn't, and keep refining your approach.
This has been incredibly informative, really practical stuff, but we absolutely cannot wrap up this deep dive without addressing the elephant in the room for you, the legal considerations. Using content that wasn't originally created by you, this feels like a big one.
It is a big one. This is a critical area for you, and it's where many creators, maybe unknowingly, can run into trouble if they're not aware of the implications.
Okay, lay it on us.
The first thing for you to understand is copyright. Plain and simple. The original author of a Reddit post or comment owns the copyright to their text by default the moment they write it.
Automatically.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Just because it's posted publicly on Reddit doesn't mean it's suddenly in the public domain or free for anyone else to copy and use, especially commercially.
So even those short, anonymous comments you see on AskReddit, they're still technically copyrighted for you?
Yes, technically. Any original expression fixed in a tangible medium-like type text is protected by copyright the moment it's created for you. Reddit's own terms of service grant Reddit, the platform itself, a license to host and display the content, but that license doesn't automatically extend to other users, letting them republish it wholesale elsewhere, particularly if you're trying to make money off it through monetization for you.
Okay, wow, that's clear. What about fair use for you? I feel like I've heard that term thrown around in discussions about using other people's content online, like commentary channels.
Yeah, fair use comes up a lot. It's a legal concept, primarily in the U.S., that allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission in specific circumstances. Things like commentary, criticism, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or parody.
Okay.
However, and this is the really important part, fair use is a very complex and nuanced legal doctrine. It's not a simple checklist. It's evaluated on a case-by-case basis using 4 main factors.
And does just reading a story count?
Generally speaking, simply reading someone's story verbatim in a video without adding significant original input doesn't typically qualify as transformative fair use for you. To be considered fair use, you usually need to add substantial original commentary, analysis, criticism, or transform the original work in some meaningful way, not just repackage it in a different format for your audience.
So essentially just narrating a Reddit story word for word probably isn't protected by fair use for you.
That's the general legal understanding for you, yes. Now, while it might technically be copyright infringement in many cases, the reality is that enforcement can be inconsistent.
How so?
Many Reddit users whose content is used might never even know it's happened, or they might just not care enough to take action. However, there have been documented cases, especially on YouTube, involving longer, more creative content from subreddits like No Sleep.
Ah, the fiction writers again.
Exactly. Where original authors have successfully issued copyright strikes against channels that narrated their stories without permission for you. And enough copyright strikes on YouTube can lead to channel termination. It's a real risk.
Okay, that's a serious risk for you. And I think you're right. A lot of people mistakenly believe that because something is public content on the internet, it's automatically free to use however they want.
That's a huge common misunderstanding for you. Publicly available is absolutely not the same as public domain. Public domain refers to works where the copyright has expired or was forfeited or never existed in the first place, like very old books or certain government documents. Reddit posts are definitely not public domain. They are just publicly accessible on Reddit for you.
Okay, that distinction is crucial. So what's the safest legal approach for you to take if you want to do this?
Well, the undisputed safest route for you is always to ask the original Reddit user for permission to use their post or comment. Get it in writing, ideally.
Ask for permission?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Especially if you're planning to use longer or more unique pieces of content, like a detailed story or a piece of fiction. While this might seem impractical for very short comments or posts in massive subreddits like AskReddit, where finding the user again might be hard.
Yeah, seems tough.
It's still the best practice for you to consider, particularly if you plan to use a substantial portion of someone's writing. If you get their explicit consent, ideally documented somehow, you're on much safer legal ground.
Okay, permission is safest. And what about the platforms themselves for you? Do TikTok and YouTube have specific rules about using this kind of reused content for monetization?
Yes, they do. And this is another major hurdle, especially on YouTube for you. Their YouTube Partner Program has very specific policies against what they call reused content.
Reused content.
And
Okay.
their guidelines specifically mention examples like readings of other materials you did not originally create, like text from websites or news feeds, as content that may not be eligible for monetization.
Wow, that sounds like it directly applies to narrating Reddit stories.
It certainly seems to fit that description, doesn't it? YouTube may deny your monetization application, or even demonetize your channel later on, if their reviewers determine that your content primarily falls under this reused content category for you, even if you meet the view and subscriber thresholds.
But wait, there are tons of channels doing this that seem to be monetized. How do they get away with it?
That's the tricky part. Some channels might seem to get away with it for various reasons. Maybe they add enough original commentary or transformative editing to pass muster during a review. Maybe their content mix is varied, not just Reddit readings. Maybe they just slip through the initial automated or manual review process.
So it's inconsistent.
It can seem inconsistent, yes. But YouTube has been known to conduct reviews and crackdowns on this type of content periodically. So just because a channel is monetized today doesn't guarantee it will be tomorrow if it relies heavily on reused content without significant transformation. It's an ongoing risk for you.
What about TikTok? Are they as strict?
TikTok's policies regarding reused content for their creator fund monetization seem to be less strictly enforced in practice currently for you. Their focus seems primarily on whether the video itself is your own production, editing, voiceover, visuals. However, consistently posting low-effort, purely reused content might still be viewed unfavorably by their algorithm for promotion, even if it doesn't immediately get you kicked out of the fund. The landscape is always shifting.
So the risk isn't just getting a copyright strike from the original author for you, which might be rare but possible, but also potential issues with getting or keeping monetization, especially on YouTube.
Exactly. You face two main risks: copyright claims from the original author and platform policy violations regarding reused content leading to demonetization for you. You can meet all the subscriber and view requirements for YPP on YouTube, but still be denied if your content is deemed to be just reused text for you. And as we said, receiving multiple copyright strikes can have severe consequences, potentially leading to channel termination or bans on either platform.
Man, this all sounds a bit risky for you, legally and policy-wise. Are there any concrete ways to lessen these risks if you still want to try this?
Absolutely. There are ways to mitigate, though perhaps not eliminate, the risks for you. Adding significant original commentary, your own reactions, analysis, or critique related to the Reddit stories is probably one of the strongest ways for you to make your videos more transformative.
And make it more yours.
Exactly. This helps argue it's not just reused content and might edge closer to fair use, and definitely helps with YouTube's policies. Paraphrasing or summarizing the story in your own words instead of reading it verbatim is another approach for you.
But people like the original story, right?
That's the trade-off. It can be more time-consuming for you, and viewers might prefer the original wording. Another strategy is using multiple short sources in one video, like compiling several brief comments answering an AskReddit question. This relies less heavily on any single author's work for you.
Spreads the risk, maybe.
Kind of. Always give credit to the original author in subreddit. Add disclaimers stating the source. While these aren't legal shields in themselves, they demonstrate good faith on your part and are ethically sound.
Right.
And maybe most importantly, be prepared to remove content if an original author contacts you and requests it. And stay informed about the latest platform rules and copyright discussions for you. Things change fast online.
Good advice.
Ultimately, this method of content creation exists in a bit of a legal and policy gray area. Proceeding with caution, understanding you're using others' work, and adding your own value are essential for you.
Wow. This has been such a comprehensive deep dive into this whole world of turning Reddit stories into short-form videos for you. So just to sum up the big picture here, it's clearly an accessible way to create content, tapping into stories that already resonate with the potential for significant reach and even possibly some income.
Right, the potential is there.
But it's absolutely crucial for you to really understand the whole process. The content creation steps, the specific nuances of TikTok versus YouTube Shorts, and especially, as we just covered, the often overlooked legal landscape surrounding copyright and the platform rules on monetizing reused content.
And as we've discussed quite a bit, simply reading someone else's text often isn't enough for you. both for engagement and for navigating those policies. To truly connect with viewers and potentially have a better shot at sustainable monetization, especially on YouTube, adding your own value is key.
Yeah, that value add seems critical, whether it's through commentary, a unique presentation style, creative editing, something that makes it more than just a narration.
Exactly. Make it your own in some significant way.
So, thinking about all this, the ease of access to the source material, the tools available now, the varying platform policies, the potential earnings versus the risks, it leaves us with a question for you, the listener, to ponder. What do you think about the long-term viability and maybe the ethical considerations surrounding this kind of content creation? Where's the balance between accessibility, the potential for earning, and respecting original creators in this constantly evolving digital landscape? Something to think about.